Hey everyone, this is the LEGO Speed Champions Mercedes-AMG G63 and SL63 set. The two vehicles exclusively come together in this double pack. Sorry, the box is a little bit beaten up here. Comes with 808 pieces. I bought it for $45 US. I'm going to look at the SL first, and at first glance, if I don't immediately pay attention to these two studs right here, if I ignore that, the rest of it does not even look like a LEGO set to me. This is far and away easily the smoothest LEGO car set that is anything close to minifig scale. I mean, it's way over minifig scale, but it's minifig compatible, and it blows my mind how good this thing looks. And I say that with bias against the source material. I typically don't like drop tops, especially with the top dropped. I've never liked them. I always want a hard top. And the Mercedes Roadsters in particular don't do anything for me. So for me to be as impressed as I am about this means that it's all about the LEGO and what LEGO has done with this. And I truly am deeply impressed with the finished product. Decorations are done with a combination of stickers and prints. So the headlights are done with prints as they promised, as the design team promised going forward. This is a print right here, the Mercedes emblem, and then the side bits, little intakes, or I think they're just blackout areas there, are also done with prints. But then this is a sticker down at the base, and this is a sticker on top. The yellow match is okay. It's definitely good enough. It's not the best it could possibly be, but it's definitely good enough for me to be happy enough with it. I like how the rims look with just a little bit of the lighter color, the silver color showing around the edge there, and the design for the wheel insert I think looks good. Over here, a sticker is used for there, and also for right here, sticker also used for the base there. You can see just a little bit of the slightly darker color of the yellow, slightly more orangish color. Back here, print, excellent. Right there in the middle, sticker, because it's easy enough to do. Sticker right here. But the shaping though, the shaping is so satisfying. So un-LEGO-like. And as usual for, when you do Speed Champions, once you get used to Speed Champions, it's unfortunate because we just get, honestly, spoiled. The building techniques are so good consistently, and they're always introducing something a little bit different than what you've seen before. Looking on the inside, the center panel there, the center console is a print, but then the gear shift is a sticker. This does have room for 3 people, 2 side by side, plus 1 in the back. That's pretty good. The interior, this is pretty thin here and it's fully built up, but it still manages to keep mostly the black all the way through. The newer trans black color is used for the windscreen itself. And you may have noticed by now that you've got a hinge piece there, which does allow all this to be opened up. Now, there's not a lot of detail to be seen inside because that's how things are these days with cars. For the most part, you're just going to see a big facade, but hey, it is there, and that does show a modified, simplified version of the AMG crest logo. I think it's supposed to be a full tree on one side, and you can see a little bit of how this build is done on the front to get the built-up grille texture there. It's actually not that complicated, but it's very smart and very effective. The end result is what this is all about. I think the end result is pretty excellent and definitely masterful. The SUV is massive. It is large and it's heavy. It has a ton of pieces that go into it. The build is very involved, very, very, very involved. All the stuff that you build up that does not rely heavily upon stickers or decorations, does not rely heavily upon specialized parts, that uses primarily, if not exclusively, pieces that can be used for all sorts of other things, but end up giving a very good shape. I think this looks better in person than it did in the official renders for the release, the unveiling of this. I think that the wheels and tires stick out a bit much, but not nearly as much as it looked like in those initial pictures. So there's just a little bit of extra overhang there, but it's not too bad. Overall, the impression that this gives, I think, is accurate, although the whole thing is scaled up compared to a minifigure to a ridiculous degree. And absolutely, I mean, it's the size of an MRAP vehicle, and in real life, it's not that large. But that is just kind of the scale that we've gotten to in order to get these really interesting building techniques, to have these fenders fully built up. They're not relying on preformed fender pieces. They've actually built that in. These side, the angled pieces here that you're seeing, the side of tiles, those are 2x4s. Those go way, deep into the thing. The sides of the windows here are fully built up, again, using the newer trans black color. We've got the newer 1x2 by 2/3 kind of cheese slope type of piece, which other companies have had for years and years and years. And we've been asking, well, folks who are aware of them have been asking for Lego to do stuff like that for a very long time. It's great to see such a useful, different piece introduced, and it just adds to even more specialized, slightly more specialized things like this right here, which we got, about a year ago or so. This is really nicely done. Once again, for the grill texture that's built up, it's using little teacup base plate, little plate pieces, just built up sideways. This is, once again, headlight done with a print, done with the print because they promised that. You're seeing a lot of gunmetal gray in here as well, such as these plates, these half rounded tiles that are on here sideways. I was really happy with how much gunmetal gray was used throughout this, or the dark pearl gray, including this strip right here. They've got 1x2, 1x3, and 1x4 plates. There are some roller coaster pieces put in sideways. That's a print right there on the side. Same thing on the other side. We've got the drum lacquered or plated pieces for the tips, the exhaust tips. Also a gunmetal gray or dark pearl gray colored 2x2 round brick back here. Unfortunately, this is probably the worst thing about the whole thing. This is a nitpick, but hey, this comes off easily, comes off too easily. Just doesn't have enough clutch power in there. That's the worst thing I can say about all of this. And that's really saying something, because there's a lot to talk about with this. The tail lights are done with stickers, and I think that's fine. They were easy enough to do. Sticker right there, some more gunmetal gray. This little pinch in here on the rear window feels a little bit awkward maybe, but it's not that bad. And the whole thing being black makes it much easier for small details to be forgiven, I think. Notice the sides are pinched in as well. That's angled in. This one also has an openable engine compartment. I like how they did this is really, really simple, but it does work at this scale for the windshield wipers. But this opens as well, and it's really clean inside of there. So you're not seeing any of the interior structure. You're not seeing different colors. There's actually a little bit more that goes into the build of the engine than you're able to see once the top goes on it. But it does look nice. It looks purposeful. And again, just, nowadays engine compartments aren't as pretty as they used to be, or aren't as interesting because they put so much facade over the top, but this is appropriate. And then to get to the interior itself, the roof is done in a nice way. You got this kind of tooth section here. This splits open. The whole roof is attached with only 2 studs at the rear back here. And this has some studs on the side construction for the panel pieces to get that little half plate thickness overlap right there, which also, it just sets on top pretty nicely and creates that transition from the angled side windows to the perfectly flat top. It is too bad that you've got the gloss right here, but then you have the kind of satin semi-gloss finish back here. I think they could have used just more of the 2x6 tiles going all the way back, just to have a little bit more consistency, although you do have the textured surface here as well, and that doesn't bother me. Maybe it's just because this looks like it ought to be all the same thing. It's not structurally needed. That's a tiny nitpick. Inside, white. Wow, such a high contrast look there. You got plenty of room for 4 people to sit inside, plus plenty of room for cargo in the back, and a sticker is used for the console there in the front, and there's a steering wheel, but yeah, no actually opening doors, but I think that's okay. Now, it is funny how high up this is. In order to get the minifigure head at an appropriate level, the minifigure seat is starting about halfway up this thing because it's just so huge. Maybe the side view inside of the fenders isn't the best when the light hits it. What you can see in there, the extra colors that you can see in there aren't the best, but it's not bad. At least we're not seeing like blue and red and green, stuff like that, for the interior structure. Once again, there's a lot. This is fully built up. This is actually built up more than the SL, because the SL does rely upon this highly specialized, highly optimized, large chassis pan piece that goes all most of the width and most of the length as well. But yeah, all in all, I think this is done better than I thought it could be, even though such a boxy thing you would think lends itself easily and well to Lego building. They put a lot of effort into this and did not rely upon the boxiness at all. It's really sculpted all around. The figures are pretty well produced. Each has an exclusive torso, and if you're a fan of AMG in particular, well, this is definitely going to serve you well. But the fact that the two of these have the kind of smug look and the same style of shades, I don't know, it's probably appropriate. They just look like smug, rich model types, I guess. Nothing against models or anything, but I don't know, it's just not a cozy feeling when I first put these two together and put them side by side. And that's perfectly fine. You know, it is Lego. You can swap things out if you want. No alternate faces for either of these. The leftover pieces include extras of the 1x1 prints, which I only just realized are actually different between these two. So the G-Wagen uses the gunmetal gray color and the SL uses the brighter silver color. You get an extra set of wheel inserts that only work with the SL. And then the sticker sheets, this is the one for the SL, which didn't feel too bad to me. And then even less are used for the larger SUV. Again, the price of this was $45 US. It is 50 euros as the base there, which is unusual that that number is higher than the US dollar number. It's usually the same. The price in the UK is 45 pounds, which is the same as the US dollar number, which means it's more expensive there, which is also unusual. And then it's $60 Canadian, which comes to about $43 US when you do the currency conversion, and we both pay taxes on average as well. So we're pretty much washed there. All in all, I feel like the value that you get here is pretty good by today's standards, because, you know, a single car is $27, which I feel like is too much when they sell these by themselves. This is pretty much a normal amount of car here with how much gets built up. This is a lot more. Maybe it's just a tiny bit less than normal. This is a lot more stuff, and we're paying less than twice that for these two. So I really feel like this is a better value, a much better value than the single packs typically are. And yeah, if they continue to give us better value with the two packs, I'm not unhappy about the two packs. I completely understand folks who are unhappy, who just want this and don't want this, or who just want this and don't want this. I get that. It's just business at that point. Ultimately, we are getting good products here. Quality is also good. The increase in number of prints is fantastic. I love that. It's wonderful to see increase in number of useful, interesting pieces that are being made available that are not exclusive to just building cars. The increase in availability of recolors as well. It's just all good. There's very little that I feel has been done poorly here. So I'm very happy with this product, and I hope that I've provided some value to you in this review. Thanks for watching, and I'll talk to you soon.